Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News.
This afternoon, I'm pleased to announce that the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games will take place right here in the city of Swift Current.
As the temperatures heat up throughout the summer season, you're reminded to take precautions when outdoors. As most 8-year-olds are out playing with friends and engrossed in their daily routine, Robbie Macartney is busy designing his one-of-a-kind t-shirts. The city of Swift Current continues to plan for the future, and with increased traffic flow at the Swift Current Airport, plans are in the works for a new terminal on site. Thanks for joining us here today. 2019 will be a big year for the city of Swift Current as it plays host to the Western Canada Summer Games. Following one-on-one meetings with Western Canada Games Committee members and visits to Swift Current's various sports facilities over the past several weeks, 2019 will now be a big year for this Southwest community.
This afternoon, I'm pleased to announce that the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games will take place right here in the city of Swift Current.
The announcement was made earlier this week in downtown Swift Current with a number of local stakeholders in attendance. A sporting event which will bring financial benefits to the community and help build dreams of young athletes.
It is a springboard towards Canada Games and national teams, so looking forward to it. I had the opportunity as a younger person to participate in Western Canada Games, and I know how much of a thrill it is when you're young and participating.
A proud achievement in Swift Current's history, and Mayor Jared Schaefer credits the bid committee for their efforts, while stressing the economic benefits which will benefit Swift Current and the surrounding area.
Yeah, early estimates have about a $7 million economic injection into our community, so I think that's great. Obviously, lots of shopping, lots of tourist activities and whatnot, but for a community our size, this is our version of the Olympics. This is great. Lots to get excited about. Athletes coming in from all over Western Canada with their families, so another huge feather in our cap, and our community should be really proud.
To host the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games in Saskatchewan, the province is investing $1.5 million. Meanwhile, the city of Swift Current will contribute $600,000, plus an additional $300,000 in kind as the host community. A dollar amount which Schaefer is confident the city will be able to budget for.
The budgeting will be lots of time to get ready for that, and obviously a huge cash injection from the province as well, which is great.
And with approximately 2,500 athletes from across Western Canada competing in 18 sporting categories, Schaefer feels all facilities are in place to host athletes and visitors to Swift Current.
I think they were actually really impressed with most of our facilities, including, both at Diefenbaker as well as Lake Pelchaise. So I know as an organization, the games have a lot of the equipment and whatnot ourselves. Obviously, the new track is going to be a huge help that's in there, but I think our facilities are actually in pretty good shape.
In order to prepare for the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games in Swift Current, a number of city officials will be traveling to Wood Buffalo, Alberta in August to get a first-hand account of the 2015 Summer Games. 2019 will mark the 5th time Saskatchewan has hosted the Western Canada Summer Games, with previous host sites in Prince Albert, Regina, and Saskatoon. Imagine a destination where you can enjoy world-class dining and unique accommodations. Take a leisurely stroll through streets filled with rich history while browsing for that perfect gift. Buy fresh produce from the farmers market and enjoy a range of cultural events while stepping back in time to learn more about Canada's Old West. Your summer destination is awaiting you in Maple Creek. For event listings and all things Maple Creek, visit our website. Well, with another summer season well underway, health officials are again reminding you to protect yourself from the scorching rays. We have more in this report. As the temperatures heat up throughout the summer season, you're reminded to take precautions when outdoors. Along with the burning UV rays from the sun and the need to wear a broad-spectrum sunscreen, people of all ages should be alert of the signs of heat exhaustion.
If you start feeling dizzy when you're outdoors, or it's really warm and you don't feel like you're sweating properly, because with a lot of humidity you can't sweat the way you normally would, then it's an indication you've got to be careful. Don't strain yourself too much. Avoid being out there for too long. If you do have to be out, make sure, one, you are hydrated, because a lot of people don't drink enough and then go outside, and then the dehydration also kicks in. Wearing light clothing, that's not going to cause too much retention of heat. And for babies too, that's very important. When mothers taking babies outdoors and it's pretty warm, don't have them bundled in too much, because they will get a lot of heat effect. And young children, babies, and older adults are more prone to this condition, because they respond to heat in a slower manner, so they will accumulate more heat.
If you are feeling any of these symptoms, get into a cool environment immediately. Apply cold compresses or take a cold shower. And if symptoms persist or worsen, seek medical attention immediately. Dr. Tor further adds that some forms of heat exhaustion can also occur indoors if there isn't proper ventilation or cooling during the hot weather season.
At the same time, it's important, if you are indoors and it's not air conditioned, to make sure you don't get too much heat and then suffer from heat stroke and things like that. So it's really a lot of precautions, and for individuals without air conditioning, it's advisable make sure they don't wear heavy clothing, and if they can get to a place where there is air conditioning, go to a mall or something like that, or a friend's place.
Every summer, many individuals are hospitalized for heat exhaustion. Therefore, by rationing your time in the direct sun, staying hydrated with water rather than soft drinks or alcohol, you can safely enjoy the summer season. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Proudly presented by the City of Swift Current and Standard Motors, along with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. Southwest TV News is pleased to partner with our friends over at the Swift Current Salvation Army, Pharmasave and JayDee AgTech in our ongoing series called Give for Good. In today's feature, we profile a local youth.
I really do hope that as people are watching this video series and hearing other people's stories, they really will observe what's going on in their own lives, see how they are giving for good, look for further opportunities to give for good, and that they will experience all the joys that come from that.
I think that sometimes we get too settled in our own space, and if we're doing well in life, financially or whatever, we get very settled in that. So I think it's nice to be able to go out there and put yourself out there and help others.
When you get someone who feels emotional over you doing your kindness or doing your act, it really feels good.
As most 8-year-olds are out playing with friends and engrossed in their daily routine, Robbie Macartney is busy designing his one-of-a-kind t-shirts. A talented young artist who's using his creative skills to bring more joy to the world. An knack for drawing, which started at a young age, long before he could verbally communicate.
Really, he was he was late to talk. So he was drawing like from the age of 1 or even earlier. Like first thing right off the hop, a pen, markers. And so he'd draw. He'd tell stories through his drawings. And he really did that, I think, because of his communication challenges. So he'd draw very complex drawings of various, characters, people, goings-on, and lots of detail, like all in story form.
Drawings which now cover the walls of their home and are carefully collected in a series of binders, from age 1 to present day. A process of creating these unique characters and storylines, which Robbie explains in more detail.
Usually I do the eyes, then I do the mouth, then I do the head, and then I look at a hairstyle that might fit the head, and because all the heads are different shaped. And then I do body, and it depends on the facial expression of what the body should look like. Because if he's just regular and not happy or sad or mad, what I would usually do is draw him slouching if he was excited or mad.
And through his passion for drawing, a business opportunity has developed for this 8-year-old with a line of t-shirts, which all began one rainy afternoon when Robbie's mom came home with a craft to occupy his time.
Mom got these blank t-shirts and she got tie-dye. But instead of me using the tie-dye, I was drawing my regular drawings. And then my mom said, "This is great." And then one day I went to the Lyric Theater, and I said at the end of it, "And I'm selling t-shirts at the back." And my mom didn't know that, and so then she was like, "What?"
What started as a mere hobby and a few dozen t-shirts has now spiraled into cases, and the Saskatchewan Abilities Council screen printing the mass orders. And coinciding with the popularity of Robbie's t-shirts and his love for drawing and telling stories is the desire to give something back to those in need. As Robbie sees it, children helping children, with a portion of the t-shirt proceeds donated to the Salvation Army.
They feed people. They give boys and girls who don't have them in Saskatchewan food and toys and stuff. And that's why every year, Mom and I and Cash, what we do is we pick out some of the toys we're done with and we give them to the Salvation Army. Because some of the toys I don't play with at all, and then they're kind of just sitting around. And I think a little girl that doesn't have anything would sure appreciate it more than me. There was a dog named Smitty.
Robbie has also taken his love for drawing and telling stories to the youth group sessions at the Swift Current Salvation Army, sharing his art and encouraging others with their creations on paper. And as Robbie shares his stories and tries to bring a smile to another's face, this proud mom can't help but be inspired by her son's message.
Like for me, now I'm a grown-up, right? So I'm thinking of things in big, complicated programs and world problems and how are we going to solve this, and we need a think tank and we need the world's experts on it. But really, Robbie reminds me that it may not be that complicated. It really is about sharing happiness, and it can be the smallest seed of happiness that can change somebody's life.
And along with his desire to help other children is Robbie's hope to one day appear on the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
It's only one reason, because I want my t-shirts to be more popular. And maybe if the t-shirts get more popular, I can donate more to the Salvation Army.
Robbie Macartney, an inspiration to all ages, giving for good, one smile and one t-shirt at a time.
For a dog, you would...
The Swift Current Airport is receiving a long-awaited facelift. We have more in this report.
The city of Swift Current continues to plan for the future. And with increased traffic flow at the Swift Current Airport, plans are in the works for a new terminal on site. The city has signed a lease agreement with Spitfire Investments to build a new 1,176 square foot building to the city's specifications. A lease agreement approved by City Council for $17,640 annually over 15 years.
Well, we've been working at this one for a while. Started sort of last fall and has been evolving since then. We got a lease for a brand new hangar building going, and as part of that lease for a brand new hangar building and business opportunity that's happening out there with Spitfire Investments, they gave us an opportunity to get a new terminal building that they would build for us, and we could lease. So we did some studying on that and got some background and did a little research and realized that this was going to be a good opportunity for us.
Minkin adds the new terminal will be a great improvement to the airport, benefiting customers arriving and departing on flights. with a larger space to relax rather than being cramped into the current trailer.
Our current building is about 480 square feet. This is almost 1,200 square feet, so a little more than double. And we've got to pay a little bit more for the lease on this, as you would imagine. So it's about $4,000 a year more for this, but a little over double the space and comfortable new space.
City officials anticipate the new terminal will be constructed in the coming months, with a full move-in to the new facility before the end of the year.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.